Welcome back. So glad you're here. We're going to talk about a fall garden, and I've got mine going on right now. My spring garden is pretty much done. I have a few things left out there, but overall I've cleaned out some beds and I've got quite a few things out there planted. But first let's talk about the collards. I set my collard seeds indoors and they have just shot up. I can't believe how fast they've grown in under 5 days. But they're on a heat mat and I have my grow lights over them. So I've got half of the tray is Georgia collards and the other half is top bunching collards. So I'm going to have to soon prick this out and plant it in a bigger container. But my goal is by the middle of August, end of August, to be able to put these in the ground and then have collards in the fall for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. So I've got 72 slots. And just about all of them have filled out with some kind of plant, so that's good. That's what I wanted to do. So I've got the collards going on. Out in the in-ground garden, I grew purple hull peas. I planted 300 seeds, and these are the Mississippi purple hull peas. And what's so great about these is the pea actually is on top of the bush. So you're not digging down under the bush. You can just pick peas from the top, and these are delicious. And of course, peas are a great source of protein. So I have 3 nice rows, about 300 seeds put out there, and they've already come up. I planted these on Monday, and by Wednesday, they were broke through the ground. And I'll show you what they look like. Today is Friday. I'll show you what they look like now. So these are good, fast growers. I also, on my trellises, when I cleaned out my raised bed garden, I planted red ripper peas, and these are delicious too, and they're full of protein. And so this is a 70-day maturity, and so this will grow up on the trellises, and I've got those planted and they have come up through the ground. I also planted some spaghetti squash. So hopefully by October I will have some nice spaghetti squash. And I planted butternut squash. And these, pretty much last all winter. And they're delicious, cut up into chunks and then just sauteed or baked. They're really good. So very excited about the butternut squash. I've grown these in the past, but I've never grown them in the fall. So I'm excited about that. I also tossed out around my chicken pen to give them some shade from the hot sun, some more loofah seed sponges. So hopefully I can get some loofahs off of that before the first frost. I'm going to be planting in September more Swiss chard. It's too hot right now for this, but I love Swiss chards. I'm going to plant some more of that and some more spinach to have for the fall. And we are going to, I've already planted more okra, and this is the red burgundy variety. I've never had this before, so I'm kind of excited. And it has also come up through the ground. So I'm going to take you outside and we're going to go look at the fall garden and see what's coming up and what I've got going on. So stay tuned, stick with me. Now the first thing you're going to see in the garden are rattlesnake pole beans, and I did not share these seeds with you earlier. These were seeds that I saved from last year. There's a little okra coming up. But the rattlesnake pole beans are a great variety. There are the red ripper peas. They've come up now, and they'll climb up this trellis. And I'm still getting peppers, and I will get peppers, bell, hot, and calypso peppers all the way through fall to the first frost. And they are doing wonderful. Now here is the spaghetti squash. It has just come up, and I may end up having to move this bed. It's kind of shady there. I may move it up to the front. There is the okra that I'm getting now. It has been a slow grower. There is my red ripper teepee. I've got to wrap some more string around that. Then here is the butternut squash bed, and I may move that other bed up front because this gets a lot more sun. So you can see all my seeds have come up. Now over in front of my chicken pen, I've put the loofah sponges seeds because that cucumber vine is just about done. And then this can take over and provide some afternoon shade for the chickens. Now over to the side of the back of the yard, there is my first Cherokee tan pumpkin. And this vine is growing all over the place. Not where I wanted it to grow. I wanted it to grow up on that fence, but it's everywhere else. And look at my little friend over on the fence. He's got a big juicy insect. These are great for your backyard. They keep the bugs away, and so I keep a bird feeder for my cardinals in the backyard, and they will help with eating those bugs. He's just sitting there watching me. There he goes. So there is the backyard raised bed garden. Then over to the other side is the new in-ground garden. And I just can't believe how quickly those peas came up. The Mississippi purple hull peas I planted on Monday, and this is Friday. And by Wednesday they had all popped up. Now I laid this plastic down this year just to try to hold back the weeds. We get a lot of rain here and the weeds just go nuts. So after we tilled this under and cleaned out those weeds, I decided to lay this fabric cloth down, the kind you buy at Lowe's in the garden section. And there are the peas. They are coming right up. I have a large family, so I wanted to plant a large amount of peas. And then those beds in the front are going to be for the collards. So here's just an example of how to put that cloth down. And I left about a 3-inch gap at the top of each raised row, and that's where I planted the seeds. But you buy these little clips and you just stick it down in the ground. And so far it's held. So I really like this cloth. I really hope it works to keep the weeds down. I really don't like going through here picking peas and not being able to see for snakes. And then I just tap my foot, and I have a stick, and I just make a hole. It's so easy. It's not a lot of bending over. And then I put my seeds in the hole, about 3 to 4 inches apart. Now I learned this trick from my mom, and she was a big toe planter where she took her big toe once the seed was in the hole and just covered it up with her big toe. So back over on the other side, I've got some cotton twine, and I'm going to tie this TP so that the red ripper peas can go straight up. So that's what I've got going on right now. I'll keep you posted all through the fall as to what we've got going on in this backyard garden. But I really hope to continue to grow my own food right here in the backyard. So let's go back and recap for those that are interested, everything that I'm planting. Rattlesnake pole beans, they produce and produce and produce right up to the first frost, and they're a delicious green bean. Then we've got the Mississippi purple hull peas, and like I said, the peas are right on the top, easy to pick and easy to shell, and they are so delicious. Then I've got my red ripper peas. I love this cooked with some ham. They are also delicious and full of protein. I've got the red burgundy okra planted. I can't wait to give this a try. I hope to eat most of this fried. That's my favorite way to eat okra. Then I've got the top bunch collard plant, and then also the Georgia Southern collard. I was looking for the cabbage collard seeds, but I've not been able to find them. If anyone out there knows a good supplier, please leave that in the comments below. Then later on in September, I'll be planting the Swiss chard, and I love the rainbow Swiss chard, and some more spinach. And that should last pretty much through the winter in my area. And then also, of course, I've got the Cherokee tan pumpkins, and that vine is everywhere. So I hope to have a good supply of these delicious pumpkins. And all those seeds came from Haas Tools. Now these seeds I ordered from Amazon, and it's a nice variety of winter squashes. There's the butternut and the spaghetti. So I'm really excited to give those a try. And then I've got zucchini for the spring. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to stay and follow along with me in the garden this fall. And get out there and plant something in your yard. So thanks so much for watching. Have a very blessed day, friends.